Podcast, and I am your host, Raj Anderson, Executive Life Coach and Coach Assessor. And I'm here with John Andrew Williams, who is the founder of Coach Training EDU. And we were just having a bit of a chat at the beginning, weren't we, John? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Dropped our oldest at NYU summer program. She's 17, so it's I don't know, all those feels. We'll see how a life coach child, a child of two life coaches, see how they fare in the world. We'll find out. So far so
Well,
good.
what words of wisdom would you share with the rest of us before we go and listen to a demo? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I hope I did it right. You know, the dad thing. Uh, I just tried to be really present in it, and uh, yeah, I will treasure that weekend with her in the transition with it. And it's only 4 weeks, so she comes back. You know, it's like sort of like college light. You get to try it out, and then it's like a trial run for her too. And it's nice. I think uh trying to figure out like what you want to do with your life and where you want to go. There's just so many different places to go in this world. So
Mm. Well,
try.
I just heard a future podcast there. Maybe we need to invite her on, you know? What is it like being the child of two life coaches?
She'd be game for it. I mean, yeah, she'd be game for it. Kind of curious. Uh, but I think what helps too is you can have a precision in communication and talk about, different levels and hearing and, all those kinds of things. It just helps with, yeah, I think you also look at and can question different assumptions. And it's not an unusual thing. It's like, oh, okay, like this is an assumption I have, is you can check it out. So uh, it helps.
Well, thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable there with us. What are we focusing on for this rest of the time today?
We got a sweet little demo with Andrew queued up. And I think I don't know how many of these demos I'm running out of. I haven't done one in a while, so we might need to freshen up the demos. So again, an opportunity if anyone has a recording to look at, I'll start getting those lined up too. But let's jump in and take a look and see what we got. Here we are, sharing sound, and all the things are happening. All right, here's Andrew. Let's see where we start from.
What would be how do you want to use this time together?
There we go. I like that question. Simple, sweet, to the point. See what happens.
Yeah, I think that I think this time I just want to talk about that stagnation of being I feel like a lot of coaches could relate to this, but like being in that slow moving phase of growing a business of growing a practice, because it's hard to show up every day when you're waiting on a couple email responses from people and things aren't really moving, and then putting out marketing and that it's hard to know what's sticking, I think, for me. And that's it's a really cool place to be in. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm being challenged in so many different ways, but I think I'd love just a little like laser coaching on like where like how seeing a little bit clearer like how most efficient my actions can be and where I'm wasting my time and where I'm not.
Yeah.
And let's say we get this. Let's say we identify actions aren't working, actions are working.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
It's important because I want to make an impact, and I want to be seen or not that I want to be seen, but I think it's more, yeah, I want to be successful in this.
Mm.
Like at the end of the day, it's like I want to be successful in this because it's like I see that there's a need, and like I want to impact teenagers the way that I felt impacted. Like I really think this is important, and it's important to me, and it's not like I'm so broke right now. It's insane. Like and it's but I also feel like I have nothing to lose, and it's an adventure and it's exciting, but that's not why I'm showing up. Like I'm not stressed about the money. I'm not stressed about the place that I'm in. I just want I'm more stressed about not making steps forward that are the correct steps that I need to do.
Got you. So what would the measurement of, how could you measure the success of this time together?
I think just the measure of success is I think feeling confident I mean, yeah, a feeling is hard to measure success, but I think leaving the session and feeling confident with a clear direction to go would be really helpful.
Okay. I have a suggestion on a
Yeah.
Exercise.
Okay.
It seems like the of looking at what you would do to create a vision recording, or you get that really solid, this idea, like this is where you're going, this is what you're up to, and this is the impact on other people, to have an impact on your motivation in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you with structures around your motivation?
All right, Raj, look at me taking a risk. Thoughts from an MCC.
I know. I was just like, I was waiting to see what was going to happen next. As I was like, this is cool the way you are offering up. Firstly, lovely kind of questions on the topic and the importance and the measure there. And I noticed, you said laser coaching. We do have, it's like a 17-minute session, and you are leaning into your intuition, and you're talking about the vision recording. So I do want to make a note for anyone, coaches that are listening, who often say, how would I introduce a vision recording, or where would be an example of where it could fit? I'm seeing that this is a great example of introducing that here. What are your thoughts as you're listening to yourself?
Yeah, I think the thing I wish I had picked up on, and I think or at least said explicitly, when Andrew said, I need a new perspective, or I'm in this space. And I mean, this is a trained client who's, oh, hey, Ben. This is a trained client who is, you could tell, like I mean, I've worked with Andrew, and this is public knowledge. He shared it, so I can share it too. I think I started working with Andrew when he was 15. So I worked with him when he was a teenager. And, we've worked, but we haven't worked officially outside of these demos since. And you can tell, he knows what he's coming with the topic. He has an idea. He even has an idea of the measurement. What I wish I'd picked up on a little bit is more around that perspective work, that internal work of, and I know what it's like to have to get clients. Like, we need to have this money come in order for us to be able to do what we need to do. And Andrew's right on. Like, he is young. He doesn't have a family yet. He can take risk. He has nothing to lose. It's a sweet space to be in, and a really powerful place, for young coaches. Reminds me a lot of myself starting out. So I think the main thing that I feel like I missed was exploring that space just a little bit, but I feel like the vision recording suggestion covers it. So that's my analysis of where this is at right now.
Yeah. And to add to what you're saying, there's a couple of things that I noticed, which I think could be useful with what you're sharing about perspectives. Is he's saying he's got nothing to lose, but he also explicitly uses the language on correct steps. So I'm just curious about where else that might show up for him. You know, I'm always observing language. It could just be a throwaway comment, but there is lots of depth in throwaway comments. So where could there be any kind of misalignment or incongruence between his this side that of, oh, it's fine, easy going, and then there is this other side that is, what are the correct steps I need to take? I'm just putting that out there. I'm just curious to hear
that
more.
is a good listen. I'm not sure either, in this one with him. I feel like that would be a lovely question to ask for sure. That's fun. All right, let's keep it going. Sally handles this. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention too. I rarely do, like, is it okay if I do this exercise? That's not a usual thing for me. I wanted to showcase it here. I did it because the vision recording is one of those that it's a little bit more involved. And basically what it is it's a way to maintain a current perspective and get yourself into a motivated state precisely when you are in a spot like this. Like, I need clients, I'm working so hard, I'm not yet seeing the results. It's a way to maintain that vision. It's what I used a lot. And so a lot of it is trying to get Andrew, it's a suggestion, but it's a very, I don't know. I feel like this is a good demo of how to suggest a coaching exercise, like when to suggest a coaching exercise, how to suggest a coaching exercise, and we'll just see how that exercise goes the other 15 minutes here.
Yeah. And the reminder that it's only a 15-minute session, hence potentially having to suggest a tool earlier on. You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, don't. There was a coach I worked with. He would always start with, after getting the agenda set, so how do you want to begin? Like, where do you want to start? And I thought that was a really interesting way to put a lot of the work on the client. And sometimes I can see where that's really useful, other times a question, but that's also an option too. So this would be on the other end of that spectrum, or, hey, I have a suggestion of an exercise, are you game? And here we go. And I'm going to let this roll. My 5-year-old opened up the door and closed it because he saw Dad was on a webinar. So I'm going to go close it again because it's hot here. So I got to deal with that. I don't have AC in this little, so it has a green roof. So I rely on the natural AC here.
Okay, well, we'll keep listening while you close the door.
Yeah, I feel like my motivation is fluctuating between it's easy to do the coaching. It's hard to do the marketing. Is kind of how I'll say it. It's and that's more coming from a place of this is new to me. This is not what I went to school for. This is something that I'm learning for myself on my own. And so that motivation of, and I don't want to be on social media like 3 hours a day. Like, that's just not the type of person I am, and that drains me. So that's where the fluctuation of motivation is. It's like putting myself out there. Like, I have my tools. I sit down every morning. I have my morning routine. I create a list, and I get the things that I put down on my action list. I get them done, and even small actions to big actions, to reaching out to people, to working on the workshops and designing the tools that I'm working on. And then when it comes to social media, it's like a black hole. It's crazy. So, and that kills my motivation. That makes it feel more conditional than intrinsic.
Right. When you tap especially into that empathetic motivation, what's that vision, or where do you see, what's that one person whose life you're reaching? Like, what's happening in their life, let's say 2 years from now?
Yeah, I think that one person that I'm trying to reach I think for me, I see them really embracing all that life has to offer with that growth mindset. And yeah, and just enjoying it. Like that's what I see from teenagers that I'm exposed to now, is that they just don't seem to be enjoying life. And the impact that coaching had on me is I really enjoyed, like I started enjoying life in a different way. And I think that's what I really want to impact, is that like shift someone into that kind of positive spiral of motivation and enjoyment of being in their life, of like this is a fun challenge, like this is everything here is helping me to grow. And like it's exciting because I think that's infectious and powerful, and that's what really defines a successful person. And not success, I think too, what I really care about is defining that, helping that person enjoy their life and have success, but in their definition, not what others, not what the external factors are experiencing, not what they think they should do, but like what they really believe is best for them, and like to feel confident in that, pursuing what they want, even if that's not traditional, even if that's not what everyone else is doing, or if that's not what, yeah, that I think that's super important to me. And I don't want to I don't want I don't want to I don't want to guide any teenager in a way that, even if their parents are like, we want our teenager to be this, like, okay, well, what does your teenager want to be? And I want to give him confidence in being who he is, not, and even if that's not going to school or doing an alternative route, like it's like that's what's important. And I think there's a huge adventure in life in figuring it out, and we don't need to arrive at a certain destination at any point. And so enjoying, like, yeah, just enjoying and being successful. Our definition of success is my vision for someone that I'm trying to impact.
What are you noticing about the intensity or direction of your motivation just talking about this?
Yeah, it lifts me up. It makes me stoked. Yeah, I'm passionate about it, like so passionate about it. I'm not here doing this profession to make money. I'm not here changing my entire life to go this way to prove anything to anybody. I'm here to make a change in the lives of young people, the way that I felt it. Like that's why I'm here. I'm not, it's so meaningful. It's so powerful. And I think like every day, like, even though some days, like there's a huge fluctuation and there's a huge duality to starting my own thing, and like there's some good days and it's just like, hell yeah, like let's go. And there's some bad days, but like there's a duality to that. And I think I have a lot of mindfulness to that, of just like, okay, this is going to fluctuate, and that's okay. Like you can't have up without down. Like there's no possible way of having two sides, just one side of the coin. It's just always positive. And I think just really, yeah, like I just wake up though every day, just like, man, like this is cool. I'm up to something big. Like this feels right. So
I think, I mean, this is a good start to crafting a structure around a vision to keep you motivated, especially to look at the marketing side. What's the next step for you in marketing? Like for you to learn more about that marketing?
yeah, I think, I mean, just you saying to learn, I think is probably the direction I should go. because I'm more just shooting from the hip and I'm doing a lot, but I don't know if
And
it's
that's
right.
not a bad, that's, yeah, right. That is part of the process, right? Like, you just got to,
Yeah.
marketing is guessing.
Yeah, it's guessing, and it's like blind guessing in a way. It's like I don't really know where it's landing.
Right.
So I don't know where the engagement is, and I think maybe, and so that's what.
Oh, I gotta stop here for a second time. That's a nice mug, Raj, you got there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Pretty, isn't it?
Fabulous, really.
Thank you.
Felt
like
like you're, yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, I felt like your present self broke out that sweet mug, that sweet mug, and then my video self was like, I'll see your mug and raise you a yellow one. You know what I mean?
I know. We've got good mug game going on here, haven't we?
I have that mug. I have this mug. Same one. Oh, yeah.
It's lovely.
Love that mug. Mugs are fun.
They are. Absolutely.
Andrew, he's bringing it. He's totally bringing it. And I'm weaving it back in. He didn't really take up okay, this is not the usual vision recording ideas of, okay, this is what I want to see. This is what it will be like. Let's put yourself in that space. Let's lay down some script on top of a song. We haven't got that far yet, but just listening to his motivation, even just talking about why he's doing what he's doing, you can feel the energy go up. So that's point one. I heard. Well, I'll stop there. I have one more point, but it's easy.
Yeah, and I want to point out once again, coaches that are listening, I really liked your question, John, and that really shifted his energy when you asked him about that one person, that wanted to impact. I mean, that just opened him up, and you could see, he's talking about all these dreaded things initially. He's using words like stagnation, and this kills my motivation. And then you ask him that question, and there is that whole shift. And I really like that follow-on question that you also asked around the intensity, the change in the intensity of his motivation, because we could see it happening, all of that in front of us. There is one other thing that I'm curious about, but I'll let you add anything that you might want to add there.
I like the inside the room question. What's it like to talk about this? I thought that was strong. And then the other point, just move off slightly from that, is that one question. So the learn, when I slipped that word learn into what do you need to learn about the marketing, I felt like that was, I don't know, perhaps leading too much, maybe. But I wanted to shift it away from getting it right or wrong to, okay, how can I create a system that I can discover more and explore more? And I feel like that helps get there.
Yeah. So it was purposeful around systems, and there was learning versus the doing as well. So there is that difference there. I know we're almost at time. The only other thing that I'm curious about is when he's talking about dualities, and these dualities are important to him. Yet he said he's in this to make a difference, but he's not in it to make money. Yet the not making money is what is the challenge and the stagnation. So I was just curious about the duality between making a difference and making money, because he kind of clearly just there declared that out loud. And I'm like, where is that a potential limiting belief? I'm not in this to make money. So I was just observing that and just curious about any dualities around that.
Yeah, I love that one. I didn't touch that. But yeah, I would have that is totally an avenue I probably could and should have gone down. At least touched upon it. Andrew up too.
So how do you want to close us out today, John?
I just feel a lot of gratitude for the profession, and I'm recognizing the importance of feedback Like it's one thing to learn about coaching from a book or watching video series. It's a completely different thing when you are in the seat coaching, recording yourself being coached or recording yourself coaching, and then watching the coaching. The richness of insight you get from it is profound. And I know that even these sessions, I feel like I'm becoming an even better coach doing this. Like I realize you have to, you're watching yourself. So if there's any other coach that wants to do optimum learning, bring your recording and we'll get there. And one of these days someone's going to do it. I might have to ask people one-on-one. You know, it's the kind of thing where if you ask everyone, no one volunteers, but if you ask just one person, they will. So I might have to get on the email and do the things. But thank you, Raj. Thanks for being here. And you'll be here next week, right? And then after that, you're out.
Yeah, I'm here next week so we can listen to the rest of Andrew. Then I'm out for a couple of weeks. But I just want to say I'm really grateful for you as well, John. And I learned so much from listening to you, and there's all the borrowed insight. And then when you have to think in the moment, even getting curious, oh, like what could a question be? And doing this helps you to just take your level to listening to another level as well. So I'm grateful to you, grateful to our community, and please do send in your recordings. It don't have to be MCC level. It would be great to see ACC and PCC as well. So we look forward to listening to them and see you next week.
Bye everyone.